Welcome. In this series, we will be discussing real-life dating hurdles. Stay tuned, because we're diving headfirst into the emotional elephant in the room, the one everyone's too scared to poke in case it stomps on their fragile egos. This is the topic no one wants to touch, let alone talk about, for fear of being ghosted harder than a bad Tinder date. But guess what? We're not here to tiptoe, we're here to torch the silence. So buckle up, because what's coming next is the truth people whisper about in group chats, but are too afraid to post about out loud, or to acknowledge its existence. Let's start with a practical one that has been around since the first hieroglyphs against the pyramids in Egypt, the silent treatment. The silent treatment is a common dating red flag that can be difficult to identify. This video will explore the treatment, examining its psychological effects, and offering practical strategies for navigating this challenging situation. Is your partner giving you the silent treatment? You're not alone. This video reveals the hidden psychological impact of this manipulative tactic and gives you the power to break free. It might seem like a harmless act, but it can actually be a major red flag in a relationship. Let's uncover the truth behind this communication pattern and equip you with the tools to deal with it. In this video, we will discuss and try to answer this age-old question that even your grandparents struggled with. We will look at identifying some of the red flags to look out for and how to navigate the silent treatment, the psychological game no one thinks they're playing. So here we are again, another 20-something sitting on their bed, refreshing Instagram, rereading old texts like they're ancient scrolls of wisdom and wondering, did I do something wrong? Sweetie, no, you didn't. You're just being silenced, and not in a poetic Shakespearean tragedy way. You're getting the silent treatment. Let's break this down for the 109th time, because apparently, some of you need to get burned 12 times before you stop touching the stove. Let's start with the basics. The silent treatment is when someone, often your so-called romantic partner, deliberately ignores you. No texts, no calls, just digital tumbleweeds rolling across your notifications. It's not just someone needing space. It's not just cooling off. It's a power move. It's psychological warfare, except the battlefield is iMessage and the weapon is pure nothingness. Imagine this. You bring up something small that bothered you, like maybe they made a joke at your expense in front of friends. And instead of talking it out like, oh, I don't know, a fully functional adult, they go cold. Dead silent. Now you're the one left packing around, overthinking every syllable you said. Congratulations, you've just been enrolled in the Gaslight Olympics. Hope you're ready to self-blame your way to gold. Why, you would ask? It's easy, it's manipulative. Here's the thing. The silent treatment isn't just rude. It's manipulative. It's like emotional blackmail with no receipts. The other person gets to say, I didn't do anything. Exactly. You didn't, and that's the problem. When you give someone the silent treatment, you're not solving anything. You're punishing them. You're training them like a dog. You're saying, if you say or do something I don't like, I will emotionally abandon you until you crawl back on your hands and knees, apologizing for making me uncomfortable. See the pattern? It's not love. It's control, wearing a hoodie and using your Netflix password. Oh, but wait, it gets better. Sometimes the person comes back a few days later like nothing happened. No apology, no explanation, just, hey, what are you doing? And you, the emotionally starved loyalist that you are, answer. Why? Because it feels like a relief. That's the addiction. The absence makes the affection feel like oxygen. Spoiler, it's not, it's crumbs. You're being fed emotional crumbs like a pigeon in a gas station parking lot. I can already hear you saying, but what if they just needed space? Excellent question. Here's the distinction between needing space and giving the silent treatment. Space is communicated intentional, sounds like, hey, I need a little time to process. I'll reach out tomorrow, okay? Silent treatment, zero communication. Meant to punish or gain control, leaves you in limbo, sounds like literally nothing. Healthy people don't ghost the people they care about just to make a point. They don't weaponize silence to prove they're right. They talk, they listen, they grow. If your situationship disappears every time there's conflict, you're not dating a person. You're dating a mute landmine. Here's the part that separates a bad moment from a bad relationship. A one-time silent treatment. Red flag. A pattern of silent treatments. Exit the vehicle immediately. We're now entering abusive territory. People who habitually use silence as punishment tend to follow a predictable cycle. You argue or call them out, and what is their response? They disappear. You panic, question yourself, text 47 times trying to explain the misunderstanding. They reappear, calm, detached, smug. You're grateful for their return and now walk on eggshells. Rinse, repeat, destroy your self-worth. It's classic conditioning. And before you say, but they have trauma, let me just pause you right there. Trauma is an explanation, not an excuse. If someone's trauma is making them treat you like emotional garbage, they need therapy, not another round of your forgiveness. Why do people fall for it? Because it works. Let's be honest, most of us would rather be hurt than be alone. We romanticize the silence. We say they're just introverted, they're going through something, or the classic. They're not great at expressing emotions. Okay, and you're not great at being ignored like a lost spam email. So what now? We crave closure, we crave reconciliation. So we chase. And that chase teaches the other person, aha, if I go silent, I get control. And boom, now you're Pavlov's dog in skinny jeans, salivating for a notification. Recognize it for what it is. Not romance, not mystery, not playing it cool. It's emotional manipulation. Stop chasing silence. You don't negotiate with emotional terrorists. You don't fight to fix someone who refuses to speak. Communicate your boundary once. Say, if you need space, I respect that. But I won't engage in a relationship where silence is used to punish or control. And then, and this is the hard part, actually follow through. Don't be the person who sets fire to their own dignity, because you're afraid of losing someone who clearly doesn't mind losing you for days at a time. The aftermath. What happens after you walk away from a silent treatment specialist? Usually one of three things. They come back, love bombing, acting like nothing happened. They try to guilt trip you for not fighting for them. They disappear again, and this time for good. Let them. Silence should never be the language of love. It's the dialect of emotional warfare. Let's not confuse loyalty with masochism. Let's not call manipulation mystery. Let's stop rewriting the story so we can be the hero in a romance that isn't worth filming. So to all the young adults out there, if you're dating someone who thinks disappearing is a valid response to conflict, here's your wake-up call. You're not hard to love. They're just bad at loving. And if you keep going back, well, either you're in denial or you're training to be a psychic, because you keep trying to read minds instead of asking for basic human communication. Let's raise the standard. Let's call it what it is. The silent treatment isn't strength. It's cowardice with Wi-Fi access. Like, comment, and send this to someone who desperately needs to stop replying 3 days after a fight.